antitrust law is then we're going to be covering a little bit later on in greater detail, but it affects every area of the sport law scene as well. Antitrust law is anything that you do that harms other people in the ability for them to enjoy the goods or services of a provider. So when we start taking a look at antitrust law, the first thing we're always looking at is who's involved. If you have one or more people involved in a conspiracy, you have to have at least 2 people in a conspiracy. That means that you can have an agreement where people say, let's say 4 gas stations are on a corner of a street, you know, crossing streets. And they all say, we're going to only charge $3.85 per gallon of gas. Each one of us, there's no other gas station within 5 miles of us. And we're all going to charge the same thing, so they could choose either one of them, any one of us, any 4 of us. That's a violation, that's a conspiracy to restrain trade. But if you are the only gas station around, and you use tactics to prevent other gas stations from coming to town, that also is a violation of antitrust law. Now, if you just so happen to be in Podunk, Iowa or something, whatever it is, and no one else wants to open up a gas station there, and you charge $5 a gallon for gas, that's perfectly legal, because you're not doing anything illegal to maintain it. So it has to be what is being actually done that is looked at with antitrust law. One of the other issues that I take a look at is not necessarily what is done, but who is impacted. So you're always going to be taking a look at who is harmed. So one of the big cases we'll look at when we go to the chapter related to, or the module related to college sports, is the initial lawsuits against NCAA by, I think it was Georgia and Oklahoma for the broadcasting of NCAA games. And back in the good old days when I was a little bit younger and most of you guys weren't born, they only had 1 game on Saturday. Sometimes they had 2 games on Saturday, and that was it. And that was college football at its best, right? Well, who's being harmed there if you're only having 1 or 2 games on a Saturday every weekend?
The little schools who don't have the money to, or like the advertising to get their games on TV.
So it might not be as popular.
Yeah.
Is that who everyone agrees with is being hurt? Okay, so I would disagree. It's actually the fans. Now they're being hurt, but in antitrust law, you always take a look at who's the ultimate consumer. So ultimate consumer is actually the fans where, hey, I want to sit down on my couch at 10 o'clock Saturday morning and watch nonstop till about 2 o'clock in the morning, games in every time zone, everywhere. I want to enjoy it all. I love it. And you're depriving me of that opportunity. And that's what you always take a look at with antitrust laws, who's being harmed. Now, the small schools are in fact being harmed, and in fact that's then that was part of the case, and it wasn't even a small school. Oklahoma and Georgia are big schools. But they said we could make more money if we're able to sell to more people. And the court said that's fine and dandy, but we want to take a look at what's called the relevant market. And the relevant market is who is being harmed, and the court said it's consumers in that kind of context. So that is an example of antitrust law. Antitrust law can apply to all areas of sports, amateur, college, and professional, and we see it all the time. It's a big thing, because whenever you think anyone is messed up, you try doing criminal law, but you have to show there's a conspiracy. That's a RICO claim, and that's a little more difficult to prove in criminal law. So you can try saying, hey, look at they're harming someone, and then try fitting it under antitrust law.